Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping in some really unique source material.
We are. It's an audio excerpt from Cosmic Disclosures, specifically the episode Draco versus Pleiadians War for Humanity.
Right. And our mission, like always, is to unpack the ideas in the source, give you the context, but, we're not saying this is factual history. It's about understanding the narrative presented.
Exactly.
Prepare for, well, a pretty wild ride through cosmic agendas, human evolution according to this source, and some really intense personal stories.
And it all centers on these, well, supposedly ancient, powerful alien races.
And how they've allegedly influenced Earth, human destiny.
And crucially, why this perspective argues it matters for your future right now.
Okay, let's dive in. The core conflict presented, right? It's this Draco corruption race, as the source calls them.
Yeah, and their whole agenda, the material claims they think Earth was theirs originally.
And they're just sort of tolerating humanity based on treaties.
Treaties with the Galactic Alliance, yeah. Which is framed as this big cosmic governing body.
And the source gives them this long history, right? Evolving from dinosaurs, living underground after some catastrophe.
It's a deep backstory, and it paints their agenda as, well, control, manipulation.
How so?
The idea is they want to be seen as a god, something humans can worship. And this influence supposedly runs deep
Into secret societies, governments.
And the source even points to symbols in media, pop culture, saying it's all meant to lock us into this 3D reality.
Keep us from evolving too fast.
Exactly. Keep us under control.
Okay, so that's the Draco side of the narrative. What about the Pleiadians? They're the contrast.
Right. A total contrast, according to the source.
Yeah.
They're apparently working with governments, like the U.S.
They're
government.
behind closed doors, though.
Behind closed doors, helping with things like reverse engineering tech, offering protection from threats.
Interesting. But the source says they aren't pushing free energy. Why not?
Because apparently they know it's coming anyway. It's inevitable in this view, so they focus elsewhere.
Which brings us back to those rules, those Galactic Alliance treaties.
Yeah, the rules of engagement. The key thing the source emphasizes is, if it's not public, it's technically allowed within the treaty bounds.
Which sounds convenient for covert actions.
It does. And it mentions the Draco actually used to be in the Alliance.
Oh, what happened?
They got kicked out, basically, for changing Earth's timeline without permission, a major violation, according to the source.
Wow, okay. So a lot of cosmic politics allegedly playing out.
Seems that way.
So where does humanity fit in all this?
Yeah.
The source talks about a transition, right? From 3D to 4D or 5D.
Yes, this big evolutionary leap.
Yeah.
And the main challenge, getting ourselves unstuck.
Unstuck from what exactly?
From this 3D reality construct, which includes, the money system, our total dependence on current tech.
Things the Draco supposedly want us reliant on.
Precisely. The source claims they actively suppress things like free energy, zero-point energy.
Because that would make oil, gas, the whole monetary system kind of obsolete.
Completely irrelevant. And it even frames things like electric cars, green tech.
As maybe not the solution we think.
As potentially bait or a fantasy designed by the Draco, because they still use old resources, still pollute.
Right.
It keeps us in the 3D loop, basically.
That's a challenging perspective.
Yep.
And the Force mentions something even more recent, starting around 2020.
A new alleged Draco tactic. Using, and this is controversial in the source, vaccines.
For what purpose?
To create a kind of consciousness network. Or even a tracker, similar to how governments might use implants, but maybe more subtle, more consciousness-based.
Wow, that's a heavy claim. Does it elaborate on how that would work?
Not in super technical detail, no. It's presented more as a method of monitoring and potentially influencing human thought or consciousness on a mass scale.
Okay. And this ties into cosmic events, too.
Yeah, the idea is that things like asteroids aren't just physical threats. They change frequencies. Earth's frequency, our frequency.
Accelerating that shift to 4D, 5D. The source even mentioned 6D.
Potentially 6D by 2029, yeah. And the speaker in the source gave a personal example.
The implants.
Right, alien implants operating at 40 hertz. Earth's baseline is usually around 8 hertz. That higher frequency, the source implies, allows contact with other races.
And suggests people like remote viewers, psychics, they're already more attuned to this shift.
They're more sensitive, yeah.
Yeah.
Already transitioning faster, according to this perspective.
It raises a tough question, though. If the Draco agenda is presented like this, why would any humans work with them?
Good question. The source suggests some pretty big perks are offered. Power, obviously. Safety for the future.
And even Immortality.
Yeah, immortality, which the source notes is a fairly recent development, maybe just a few decades old.
Used as a motivator.
Yeah.
Right now during this critical time.
Exactly, at this inflection point, as the material calls it.
The source also brings in the Anunnaki, doesn't it? How do they fit?
They're brought in for historical context, involved in genetic manipulations over long periods.
Using different species to mine gold on Earth.
Yeah, that's the narrative. And humanity is presented as just one of those manipulated species. Even the Draco themselves are seen as a result of manipulations.
So it's a really complex web of alleged genetic interference over ages.
A very complex tapestry, yeah.
And then there's that personal story, the attack, that really brings it home.
It does. The speaker describes being physically attacked twice by a Dracoian.
Seeing something strange in his bloodstream afterward.
A floating green and white peel, yeah. And the chilling part was realizing a human working for the Draco was likely involved.
Making it feel very immediate, very real within that narrative.
Absolutely. And the aftermath he describes, it's incredibly raw.
Believing he actually died that night.
Died in New York, yeah. Panic, regret, feeling totally helpless.
But then he recovered.
Yeah.
Mysteriously.
Woke up 3 hours later, fresh as a daisy, as he put it.
And got a message.
A message, apparently from the Draco. Now you can see what we can do to you, so leave us alone and we'll let you be.
That's terrifying.
Caused him to stop remote viewing for 3 years out of fear, according to the source. Really underscores the stakes involved in this conflict narrative.
So after all that, the big question, who wins? Draco or Pleiadians? What does the source conclude?
It's pretty confident, actually. It says the Pleiadians will win.
Why? What's the reasoning?
Because humanity survives, evolves,
Oh,
and eventually becomes the ancestors of the Pleiadians.
Whoa. So we become them. That's a twist.
A huge twist. It reframes the whole idea of linear time and evolution.
Is there more to why they win?
Yes, it ties back to those cosmic events changing frequencies. The source claims these events will also affect the Draco by modifying their frequency too in a positive way, even if they don't realize it's happening.
So their own consciousness shifts and their current agenda just fades.
It no longer matters, as the source puts it. Their focus changes as their vibration rises.
And that's why the Pleiadians aren't freaking out about the current situation.
Exactly. They are not alarmed because they see this bigger energetic shift coming that changes the game for everyone, including the Draco.
Okay, that's quite the cosmic perspective. So bring it back down to us, to the listener. What can people do today, according to this material?
It really boils down to one thing. Belief. The power of your belief.
How so? Just believing isn't enough, is it?
It has to be consistent, certain positivity, unwavering belief, no room for doubt.
And that certainty can do what?
Create a shift in consciousness, allow you to modify before it happens, even delay physical events like earthquakes.
Through thoughts. Seriously.
With the thoughts process, yeah. It sounds incredible, but that's the claim. It's like shifting from just survival instinct to consciously creating your reality.
Don't fight the old, build the new, that kind of thing.
Precisely that. Focus your energy on the reality you want to create.
Okay. And the source gives some specific practices for reclaiming sovereignty.
It does. 2 main things. First, connect with your star family or your source. Remember where you came from.
Recognizing humans aren't just from Earth. We're complex.
Yeah, a complex entity with ties to many races, allegedly. And second, embrace the mix.
Embrace the idea that our DNA has bits from Draco, Pleiadians, Anunnaki, Greys, all of them.
Acknowledge that patchwork, yeah.
Yeah.
Accept the manipulations, be at peace with it, because in this view, this is who we are.
Wow. That's a call for some radical self-acceptance, isn't it?
It really is, owning the whole complex heritage presented in the source.
Well, this has definitely been a deep dive. We've covered these alleged cosmic forces, humanity's supposed evolutionary path.
And the incredible power the source assigns to individual belief and just accepting who we are, complexities and all.
It leaves you thinking.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave with everyone listening.
Go for it.
If, as this material suggests, our thoughts can influence cosmic events, if they can shift timelines, what personal, impossible future could you start creating with that kind of unwavering belief, starting right now?
It's something to definitely ponder. Thank you for joining us on this really fascinating deep dive. We hope it gave you plenty to think about.
Always a pleasure.
Continue your own explorations. Until next time.